I told you this was coming. I've been telling you guys this was coming. It was inevitable. And it was damn sure inevitable after MSNBC removed Rachel Maddow from first class on the Bruce Caboose and stuck her back in coach. It was damn sure inevitable after MSNBC cut Rachel Maddow's pay by $5 million a year. When a network is slashing the salary of their biggest star, maybe even their only star, it's only a matter of time until it happens to you. Normally, this is not how it's supposed to work. Normally, when you are working at a company for over 10 years, your pay is supposed to increase. One of my biggest complaints with my former employer, it was their policy of never giving raises. I worked at the company for 7 years, never got a raise. Matter of fact, they cut our pay during the COVID by $1,000 a month, even though they received multiple PP loans or whatever the hell they were called. The company gladly accepted my tax dollars. They gladly took my money in the form of a loan. Then they literally took my money. It's one of the main reasons that I left the company. I knew I could not waste another 7 years of my life mired in mediocrity. I couldn't waste another 7 years being complacent. Now, looking back at it now, my former employer, they actually did me a favor because their refusal to pay me, it gave me all the motivation that I needed to figure out a way to pay myself. But my situation was unique, or at least I hope it was. I would hope for most of you guys, the more time you spend working with your company, the more they are going to pay you. Unfortunately, that is not the case for the Wicked Weave. Or I guess I should say the artist formerly known as Weave. Joy Reid has not graced our television screens with perfectly styled hair in quite a while. Once I started comparing her hairstyle to the Trumper, she wickedly removed the weave to go all natural. Joy Reid's been collecting woke welfare at MSNBC since 2011. In the past 13 years, her woke welfare has increased as her status at the network has increased. She's making significantly more money today than she was back in 2011 until now. Our bundle of joy finds herself in quite the predicament. Her future at MSNBC, it's in doubt. It's uncertain. Instead of giving gifts this Christmas, instead of giving Joy Reid a Christmas bonus, MSNBC has decided to give her a choice. They have presented two options to our bundle of joy. Option number one, agree to a substantial pay cut. Agree to a massive decrease in your woke welfare. Option number two, hop on your broom. Join your sister in woke Jamel Hill in the unemployment line. Now, if Joy Reid chooses option two, she's going to be fired. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. If you want to vote for the second annual Huge Embarrassing Failure Awards, link is in the description below. Let's get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Sugar Mountain Trading. Are you struggling with back problems? Do you deal with minor aches and pains throughout your day and you don't really want to go to the doctor because all the doctor is going to do is find something else wrong with you, or even worse, prescribe addictive medication that you just don't want to take? Me personally, I hate going to the doctor, and so does my wife, who actually deals with back pain, which is why she started using CBD lotions and oils from Sugar Mountain Trading. No, it ain't THC. This is not going to make you fail a drug test. These CBD lotions and oils, they are designed for rapid pain relief. My wife deals with nagging back pain from time to time. We have tried over-the-counter stuff. We have tried the chiropractor. Nothing worked. Within 5 minutes of me applying CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain Trading, her pain was gone. I'm telling you. It is damn near magical. My wife, she keeps a bottle with her at all times. Sugar Mountain Trading also offers CBD bar soap that will keep you pain-free and smelling fresh at the same time. The CBD bar soap, it comes in a variety of flavors ranging from lavender and cherry almond. All CBD products offered at Sugar Mountain Trading, they are 100% natural, 100% free of THC. So click the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL20, BTL20. Save 20% off your first purchase with Sugar Mountain Trading. Right now, MSNBC is paying Joy Reid $3 million a year. $3 million a year! To pollute the airways with toxic mouth farts and fabricate stories of mythical racism. Now, during the first couple of years of her contract, MSNBC, they could justify her salary. Me personally, I thought $3 million per year was too much to pay Joy Reid, at least if we're talking about dollars. If MSNBC was donating 3 million pesos, which would equate to around 150,000 a year, that sounds about right. Still far too much. I would not be willing to pay Joy Reid $150 a year, but I can at least understand why MSNBC would be willing to pay her 150 grand a year. But 3 million? That is no bueno. And MSNBC has finally realized it's no bueno. You see, when Joy had the weave and she was averaging 1.5 million viewers in prime time, paying her $3 million a year, you could look at that as a bargain. Sean Hannity, he doubles the size of Joy Reid's audience, and Fox is paying him $25 million a year. Unfortunately for Joy Reid, she has not been able to maintain her audience. Since the election, Joy Reid's ratings have been circling the pooper. She has tried everything to save her audience. She even contracted the services of Kelsey the plumber, the lead plumber in the WNBA dump. She might not be able to dunk a basketball, but she's one of the best in the business when it comes to using the plunger. But Kelsey the plumber, she could not even prevent Joy Reid's ratings from circling the throne. Since the election, Joy Reid has failed to eclipse 1 million viewers even one time. Initially, MSNBC was blaming viewer fatigue. They were implying that their audience was filled with sore losers who no longer wanted to watch their brand of what they call news because cackling Cam Harris lost the election. But we are going on 7 weeks now since the orange tsunami ended the woke movement. MSNBC, they still haven't realized that it's not viewer fatigue causing these ratings declines. It's not an audience filled with sore losers. People quit watching MSNBC because they figured out they were being lied to and they're tired of it. Instead of offering Joy Reid a pay cut, MSNBC, they should be offering her a pink slip. They should be handing her a nicely polished Rubbermaid broom and telling her to get the hell out of here. Obviously, MSNBC is not going to do that because they're afraid to be charged with mythical racism. So they offered Joy Reid a substantial decrease in woke welfare instead. I read through multiple reports this morning. I could not find anyone who was reporting the actual numbers. At this point, we don't know how significant the pay cut is. Now, if MSNBC were smart, if the goal at MSNBC was to recapture lost viewers, this pay cut was so drastic, it only leaves Joy Reid with one logical choice: quit. The size of the pay cut should be so insulting. Joy Reid, she just quits as a form of protest. Now you gotta remember, Joy Reid built an audience in prime time on the foundation of mythical racism. When the business of mythical racism was booming, when the business was feeding the families of Jamel Hill, Bomani Jones, Tiffany Cross, formerly known as Tiffer the Bongo Sniffer, when the business was handing Mina Kimes a multi-million-dollar contract from ESPN to pretend to analyze the NFL, when the business was booming, Joy Reid, she was a star in cable news. Joy Reid used to generate headlines on a damn near daily basis. Now, you rarely hear about her. Even before the election, when she was still drawing respectable ratings, we barely heard anything about Joy Reid. Why? Because the shock factor wore off. Normal people got tired of hearing about and reacting to stories of media-created racism. Once the gimmick became stale, Joy Reid was forced to rely on her talent. She was forced to rely on her personality and her ability to entertain an audience. We have 7 weeks of evidence that proves Joy Reid is not capable of doing that. Like I say all the time, gimmicks are only designed to last a certain amount of time. If you look at rappers, for example, who have sustained their careers across multiple decades, They all have one thing in common. They're constantly changing their gimmick. They are constantly changing their image. They grow and evolve along with their audience. Take Eminem, for example. Late 90s, he is relying on the gimmick of Slim Shady. He is shocking. He's controversial. He is saying things that other people aren't willing to say. Late 2000s, he becomes a gimmicky rapper where he's using these weird accents and voices. 10 or so years ago, he becomes the sober rapper, taking you on his road to recovery. Today, Eminem is the elder statesman. He's reached legendary status. You could say the same thing about Jay-Z. They were able to sustain their careers across multiple decades because they were constantly evolving. They were growing up along with their audience, and they were taking their audience on that journey with them. Problem for Joy Reid, she hasn't evolved. She is still relying on the same gimmick of mythical racism that she used to get the job in MSNBC's primetime dump in the summer of 2020. My question is, who's next? Who is next at MSNBC to take a pay cut? Who's next at MSNBC to potentially get fired? John Scarborough, Mika Bazooka, the super nerd Hey Chris? Who's the older dude that comes on after Rachel Maddow? Well, he comes on after Rachel Maddow the one night a week that she decides to show up to work. What's that dude's name? Larry O'Connell? Anyway, who's next at MSNBC? There's so many to choose from, it doesn't matter who's next. You can make the case that they all need to go. If you want to survive, if you want to compete, you got to appeal to normal people. Right now, who does MSNBC have that appeals to normal people? No one. If they did, they would not be in this predicament to begin with. This is only the beginning, and not just at MSNBC. I think we are going to see the same thing happening at CNN too. Careers are on the line. Woke welfare is expiring. Who will be next? You tell me. Also, will Joy Reid accept the pay cut, or will she agree to be fired? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Best way to contact me is through email, btlkc84@gmail.com. I'll see you guys later.